This is Twit.
8888 Ask Leo. That's the phone number, 888-827-5536. Jason is on the line from Lake Elsinore, California. Hi, Jason.
How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm sitting on the freeway, but that's okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man.
That happens.
What can I do for you today?
Well, we're organizing a festival, and a while ago I heard about some technology called a marketing beacon, like location beacon. I wanted to know, is it legal?
Yes.
And which one should I get? And which one requires the least amount of programming? Because I don't do that.
Interesting. What's the name of the festival? Don't tell me Fire.
No, it's Fire 2.
This time we're going to have some tents.
We have plenty of tents. It's called the WeLoveAmericaFestival.com. It's actually free to attend.
Nice.
And we're celebrating America 4th of July weekend. It's on July 6th.
Oh, what fun. And where's it going to be?
It's at the outlets at Lake Elsinore.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. WeLoveAmerica.com. That's a good URL.
We Love America Festival.
Festival.
The first one was already taken.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. We Love America Festival. And are you going to have what kind of, are you going to have music?
Oh, we've got music. We've got a beer garden and food trucks and vendors and stuff for the, it's going to be a blast.
Sounds wonderful. So, so the beacon technology is kind of interesting. You know, everybody thought this is going to be the next big thing about 3 years ago, and I think it's kind of dwindled out. Beacons use Bluetooth LE. It's a proximity system. So you get a beaconing device, and what you're going to do is you put some information on that device. So one potential use would be at a museum where you have beacons, because they're short range, next to each painting. And as a person comes close to them, they have to be running the software on their phone. The phone will say, you're standing next to the Mona Lisa. Is this not a beautiful painting? Et cetera, et cetera. But a festival would be great too, because, you're at stage 4. Here comes, the next act or whatever. Or here's, there's all sorts of things you can do with that. The problem is that I don't know if people know about it. So there are a lot of companies that make beacons, and there's even iBeacon, which is as you might guess, I think an Apple standard. And then there's another standard called Eddystone. But you can get a beacon that will support both. Most modern phones will support beaconing. iBeacon. In fact, Apple has a page, developer.apple.com/iBeacon. Give your iOS apps the ability to determine their proximity to an iBeacon-enabled hardware. Okay, so you can do it. Probably the most sensible way to do it would be to have an app for the festival. So We Love America Festival app, because you can't count. I guess you could put up signage that says "Fire up your phone," and I don't even know how I would turn on beaconing. To be honest, I think what you really want to do is you want to have an app of your own. So 4th of July is pretty soon. I don't know if you have time to do this. In that app, you would then support beacons. Apple has its own beacon technology, so iPhones support it using the Core Location API. Androids have their own beaconing technology. I think that's probably Eddystone. I haven't really kept up on this. This was going to be the hottest thing ever. Yeah, Eddystone is from Google. Built with transparency and robustness in mind. I've got robustness on my mind. I'm trying to think. Did Ray Charles do that? Anyway, it's an open beacon format developed by Google, designed, Eddystone format, blah, blah, blah. So you want to have a beacon device, and there's lots of hardware. I mean, I even see on Amazon a lot of hardware that supports both iBeacon and Eddystone. So you'll want to do that. If you're doing an Android app, you're going to have it be an Eddystone app. You do an iPhone app, you're going to have it an iBeacon app. You'll add those capabilities. And then what you have to tell people is get our app, and then they'll have to have the app open. I don't think, it's possible on Android it will, but I don't know if it will on iPhone. If they get close to the beacon, will it fire up the app? I think not, but maybe that would be ideal, wouldn't it? That the app would open, but it just doesn't seem like that's the kind of thing Apple or Google would really allow. So you're going to have to say, keep your app open, and when you get nearer, there are little beacon logos you can put on devices or, by the stage or whatever. I think it's a neat technology. People were really excited. I remember, some of the tech journalists I work with saying this is the next big thing. And like most of the next big things I've ever heard of, they never went anywhere. It just kind of collapsed. Not sure why. The idea was, you'd have it in a store. You go into the store and it would be, I guess here's why it collapsed. Consumers didn't see the value of it. Merchants did. You get near a pile of shoes and the beacon fires off a message to your phone that says 20% off right now. Merchants love that idea. Consumers, I don't think consumers really want ads popping up on their phone. That was something that was a dream that never came true. So, if you want to read, we'll put in the show notes Apple's description of their iBeacon. That's essentially the same technology as Eddystone. It's just different standards because they're different companies, but it will describe how you might use beacons. It uses Bluetooth Low Energy. And the nice thing about Bluetooth Low Energy is it can fire off. You don't have to pair with the beacon. It just sees the beacon, fires it up, and it goes. You just I should show you the Apple diagram. If you click the link that we'll put in the show notes at techguylabs.com, Apple has a little diagram of how beaconing works. That is, I would say, optimistic, to say the least. The iPhone says, I see 2 iBeacons. And then iBeacon 1 says, here I am. And then the iOS device says, here I am. But given the privacy concerns people have these days, I think this kind of just didn't happen. I think it was a good idea. I have not seen any, and maybe there are, but I have not seen any apps say, hey, beacons are supported. It's a perfect thing for a store, especially like a big box store, somewhere where it's hard to navigate, a museum. I think it's a great idea for a festival, but I guess the bottom line is, first you got to do an app. You got 2 months. Good luck. It's going to be kind of tight turnaround. October 2018, here's an article from VentureBeat that the chat room found for me, the title kind of says something to you. Why beacons failed to gain traction. I just honestly think that it's a very specialized thing that you can't expect consumers to have running all the time. So it's got to be just, you've got to have a America Festival, Why We Love America Festival app that uses beaconing. Let me just see what VentureBeat says. Why? Why did it fail? Oh, wow. Google this week did away with nearby notifications. That was last fall. Following on the heels in its decision to gut support for Eddystone from Android and Chrome in October 2017. Oh, never mind. Never mind. I'm sure Apple still has it in there because they never take anything out, but wow. The good news is the beacon, this is kind of like NFC. Remember that? Where we used to have little stickers on the wall of our studio that said, tap me. And it was an NFC sticker. If you tapped it, your browser would open. It would go to a website. This is kind of, you don't even have to tap it. You just need to get within a few feet of it. Beacons are cheap, $4 to $50. Your question is which to get? I don't know. Alongside Eddystone, Google released the Nearby API for Android and iOS, which uses not just Bluetooth, but Wi-Fi and, get this, inaudible ultrasonic sound to establish proximity. There's also a paragraph, Mo beacons, mo problems. So there you go. Everything you ever wanted to know about beacons. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Yeah, a QR code might be a lot easier, actually. Come to think of it, that's probably what I would do, Jason, is a QR code. So, because everybody now is used to that. Who would have thought that would have beat NFC and beacons? But it did. So you know what I'm talking about, Jason?
Right.
So if you could put a QR code up on the screen at the stage or even on physical things, and people know when they see that, kids especially, young people especially know, oh yeah, it's a QR code. They point their camera at it on iPhone or Android, and the camera will then open up a website for you. Then you wouldn't.
Yeah.
Do you have an app?
No, we don't. But the younger generation, I think, like being advertised too. They like when.
Oh yeah.
When So I thought I was watching some YouTube videos, and this one guy was making a recommendation, and he said that you don't need an app. That it's just
When was the video on YouTube made?
That's a good question.
It was guarantee you a few years ago, because that was the kind of the dream, right? That I think one of the reasons that didn't happen is because of QR codes. Because the reason is I think consumers prefer it because then it's up to them.
Right.
Nobody, and that's why Google disabled this, nobody wants a pop-up on their phone saying, hey. Nobody wants that. And, this was
like a good idea.
It was, oh man, let me tell you, I remember Robert Scoble said, oh, this is going to be everywhere. There's going to be beacons everywhere. And imagine that. Your phone every 5 feet goes, hey, pants here. Hey. I remember Eric Schmidt of Google said, we envision a world where you'll be walking down the street and you'll get a notification on the phone that says pants 50% off over here. That is not a world anybody wanted. It makes sense if you have an app and people are running your festival app, but it's too late to do that. It's way too late. You can easily do NFC. There are free websites where you can say, do you have a website? You have a website. We know you do. So there's free websites where you can create a QR code for a URL. So you can have, what was the address again?
WeLoveAmericaFestival.com.
So you can have WeLoveAmericaFestival.com/stage1 or WeLoveAmericaFestival.com/food court. You can have a website, which you can easily create, right? You know how to do that. You can then get a QR code and you can print them and just stick them there. And then anybody who says, oh, and if you could say on the QR code, for more information about the festival or more information about this stage, get the stage schedule, whatever. And the millennials will absolutely, I've seen them do it. They will absolutely whip out their camera. They've got it ready anyway, because in case there's a selfie emergency, they'll whip out their camera. They point it at the QR code, and it just opens up that page. And that's kind of the same effect as a beacon. The difference is the user is going to get it instead of you pushing it to their phone, which I think people decided, no, we're not going to do that.
Probably better.
Yeah.
Very cool. I appreciate it. Thank you
so much. My pleasure. Yeah. Thanks for calling. I appreciate it. Good luck with the festival. What a great idea. Thanks to, who was that in the chat room? Because I got to give credit. Preeter Nat, who said, how about a QR code? You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.